What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and I know with the re-releases of Havok and Ghost Rider, you've been wondering which character should you buy and why. Well, I'm going to go ahead and show you some footage of each character, and I'm going to give you my opinion. Right here, we're going to show you what Ghost Rider can do to Quicksilver when he's set up properly. And that's just a little clip of that battle right there, and then we're going to get into a full battle against this team. Besides showing off Ghost Rider in this battle, we're going to also show you the Scythe of Ptah. I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to say that, but I think that's a pretty good attempt. First, there's something that should be noted, and that's that my Scythe is about 100 levels beneath what my agent is currently, so you can't fully judge this weapon on how much damage I do. But its main use is to collect 3 cosmic energy. And so what you do is you hit the entire enemy team, and you collect 1 cosmic energy for each enemy hit. And without the other items that take advantage of cosmic energy, I really don't see much use for the weapon. Also, I don't think it's worth 64 gold, but I am going to show you what I use it with, and that's the OsCorp Prototype. And you'll see that on my agent's next turn. Now, as far as this battle, it isn't optimal since they do have Juggernaut, and he's definitely going to take advantage of our Scrapper Ghost Rider. But they also have an Infiltrator, so we do gain double attack. The team that I'm currently using is actually a team that I used to use in PvP. However, it's just not that viable anymore. If you can only choose one of the 2 re-releases, I would definitely go with Havok. One of the main reasons is because there are a lot of bruisers in PvP. Secondly, Ghost Rider kind of relies on debuffs like Sin, and you can get a ton of Sin stacks on the opponents, and then they'll just get wiped by the scroll or by rescue. And so then you kind of have to start all over for your pen and stare. But just like that first clip showed, if you can get off a burnout, and there are plenty of Sin stacks, then you can go ahead and do a massive pen and stare, especially to a character like Quicksilver who takes a lot of actions and does a lot of attacking. Right now you're seeing the weapon that kind of goes with the Scythe, and that's the OsCorp Prototype. You're allowed to fire it as a quick action as long as you have cosmic energy. So 1 use of the Scythe, and then you can fire it 3 times on your next turn, and then you can use the Scythe again, and that'll give you 3 more stacks of cosmic energy. And the Prototype is pretty good because it puts some of the best debuffs on the opponents. But it's also about 100 levels beneath my current level, so that's why its raw damage output isn't that great. I'm assuming they're going to sell the Prototype as well since it goes with the set. If you want my honest opinion, I would probably skip over this set, especially at 64 gold apiece. And as far as the characters, if you can get them both, you definitely should. But I do think you're going to be using Havok a lot more. I'm going to show you why in the upcoming battle. Ghost Rider's not going to get a lot of action in PvP, but Havok is a beast right now. Right now in this current battle, Ghost Rider's actually doing okay. He should be able to take out most of their characters right here. The only thing is, even though it's a pretty strong opposing team, they just don't have the bonuses that we have. But still, you have to love Ghost Rider's pen and stare. It's pretty much a guaranteed hit, and it's going to do some pretty good damage as long as they have some Sin stacks and you have some Vengeance on Ghost Rider. Right there, Ghost Rider does plenty of damage to have an epic overkill on Phoenix. But now Juggernaut probably is going to kill Ghost Rider. And that's one of the disadvantages of having a Scrapper. Oh, but actually Ghost Rider lived through it with Infernal Contract. And that used to go off all the time before, but they actually nerfed it. Ghost Rider used to be famous for not dying. He would just keep proccing that over and over and over. So I guess it's good that they nerfed it, but it does hurt Ghost Rider quite a bit, because he's just not as strong as he used to be. And he probably needs to be immortal to beat some of these bruisers nowadays. But anyways, we're coming to the end of this battle. And you can see the Prototype just continuously fire as long as you have cosmic energy. It fires as a quick action. So you may be able to come up with some combinations for this, especially since it provides a lot of debuffs and I can only assume that they're going to re-release that item. But now we're moving on to the Havok portion, and first we're teaming him up with Satana in a regular mission, and then next we'll move into PvP. Plasma Spears is Havok's level 6 ability, and it puts Exhausted on every single one of the opponents, and then it also has a chance to put on various debuffs, such as Slowed, Dizzy, and Weakened. Those debuffs of course help his level 2 ability, which has Paragon Exploiter, and it does major damage. Now some of you may be worried about his level 2 because it has Kicks Like a Mule, and he'll have to miss his next turn. But he also has something called Uncanny Coordination, and this passive gives him a chance to gain an extra turn when an ally attacks. So chances are you won't even have to worry about missing that turn. On top of that, when it comes to PvP, he can absolutely nuke one character. So even if you have to miss your turn, at least you one-shotted an opponent. And that's pretty worth it in almost any case. Besides his one-shot potential of his level 2, he also has a level 1 that has Meld Armor, Shield Breaker, and removes buffs. So not only does he cause Exhausted on all the enemies with his level 6, he can also break shields and remove buffs. That's pretty fantastic. I'm actually hoping to use Havok in the upcoming PvP season. And I felt like I had a pretty good combo right away. And that's going to be coming up very shortly, after this one guy and then the last wave. Also, in this last wave, you're going to see a glimpse of Havok's damage potential. We're going to go ahead and do a pretty massive hit against one of these bruisers. So let's start with Plasma Spheres, and that'll put some of the debuffs that are needed for Paragon Exploiter. So there you see quite a few on that top bruiser. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Channel Energy, and then we're going to fire his level 2 at the top bruiser. And there you see a hit for over 168,000 damage on a PvE opponent. And I just can't wait to see Blackheart again. There are none on my map right now, or else I would have fought him. But if you think that's bad, wait till you see this team I'm using in PvP. Now here's the battle. And we decided to use Havok and Captain Britain. We're also using the Neurotrope, the Shepherd's Staff, the Scroll of Angelob, and the Warbringer Axe. And the staff is on there of course for the extra turns, but it could come in very handy with healing. As far as the characters, both Havok and Captain Britain both have Paragon Exploiter moves. And since Havok's level 6 can put a number of debuffs on the opponents, it really helps out Captain Britain and the Curse of the Otherworld. Alright, so now Quicksilver's turns are finally over. So we're going to go ahead and use Smashing. And we're pretty much hoping to stun their agent. We really didn't want him attacking Havok and gaining tactical maneuvers. So this way he is stunned and Havok can get off his level 6 ability and put Exhausted on that Tactician. Now it's going to be their Infiltrator Phoenix's turn. So she's probably going to use Mind Link. And then hopefully she doesn't use Telekinesis on someone. Alright, so she just cast Psyblast, and we'll take that. Their agent's going to have to skip their turn, and then it's going to be Havok's turn. So let's use his level 6 ability. We're going to place Exhausted on everyone, and then we'll also place a few debuffs, but they are random. We're hoping to get as many as possible. So Slowed popped up, Exposed, and then Dizzy on Phoenix. So it looks like Phoenix has the most Paragon Exploiter debuffs. And that's kinda good because she is our primary target. So now let's use all our quick action items. We're going to use the scroll, then we're going to use the Neurotrope. And then after that we're going to use the staff. And let's see how much damage it heals. Now right now we have 3 War Frenzy buffs and then some Neurotrope buffs. So the staff actually is going to heal quite a bit. So it heals back 15k to Havok and 12,000 and some to the other two. So then we hit Quicksilver to gain Enraged on our agent. And there you see Havok get Uncanny Coordination. So he's going to gain a turn here. Now with Havok, we're going to go ahead and use his level 9. And we're going to ramp him up to do the most damage that he can do right now. So let's go ahead and use that, and we'll gain the max stacks of cosmic energy. All 5. Then after we gain 5, we're going to use his level 2 on one of their characters. So let's go ahead and hit Phoenix, and then with Captain Britain we'll try to finish her. So there you see a massive hit to Phoenix. That did over 230,000 damage. I know it's hard to see because that last number gets cut off, but you saw the 2-3, and then she had 34,000 health. So it obviously wasn't 23,000. So it was over 230,000 damage to Phoenix. And right now we're about to counterattack with Captain Britain. So there goes a little over 60,000 in total from the 2 hits to Quicksilver. And now we're going to go ahead and hit Phoenix and make sure she can't cast Phoenix Fire. So there's a Britannic for 230,000. And now we're going to hit their agent. And that did 139,000 damage. So a lot of massive hits right there. Now basically wanted to let you know that this is going to be the team in the next Team Spotlight episode. So this is just a preview of what you're going to see in that episode. And there it is. A hit for 372,000 damage on Quicksilver. So you definitely want to check out that next episode of Team Spotlight. It's going to feature the Paragons of Power, which is Havok and Captain Britain. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I definitely enjoyed making it. Lastly, I want to thank you for watching and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos.